I grew up in a very Catholic family, so going to church every Sunday, praying the rosary. But I think what really kind of put the priesthood first in my heart was meeting these awesome priests. We had a lot of great priest friends around our family, and they were just exciting, adventurous, normal guys that just had really fun lives. And so they'd come over to the house and have dinner with our family and talk about what their experiences were like. And I kind of looked like a kid looking up to his uncle, and going, those guys sound like they have pretty amazing lives. I'd like to be like that. And so from a young age, it was planted in my heart. But I think like a lot of Catholics, I didn't really understand my faith, so I was going to Mass and this is what you do, so I was doing it, but never really like totally engaged. And then that didn't really happen for me until I got to college. I wasn't born with a collar, right? So I always was from a very faithful home growing up. But in high school and college, I think like a lot of kids, I wandered a little bit. And so I did do the college thing, which sadly, nowadays, the typical college thing is a big party life. And so I kind of started to live that life. I played football in high school and in college. And so I kind of fell into everything that went along with that in my college experience. I went up to school in Buffalo. And so I wasn't the guy in the prayer group. I wasn't the guy leading the rosary. I wasn't doing that kind of thing. In fact, I was always, in a sense, religious. I always went to Mass on Sunday, but I was living this totally different lifestyle from that. And then through just a series of events, the Lord moving in our lives, basically, I think for the first time in my life, I was confronted with God is real. Like I encountered Him. And in the experience of like meeting God, I began to fall in love, And so I just was getting to know the Lord more and more, and knowing that He's real, even though you can't see Him with your eyes or hear Him with your ears or touch Him with your hands. Like this God that we worship is not an idea. He's not just a nice philosophy. He is real. And it was when I just began to fall in love with God that I started to pray more. And it was really in my time of quiet was the big thing, time of quiet prayer, that I really sensed an invitation. This might be what the Lord's calling me to here. And it was tough, I was dating a girl at the time, and when the Lord first called me, I think like a lot of guys talk about, not everybody, but a lot of guys talk about going, whoa, like I don't think so, Lord. And that's kind of what I did. But they call the Lord the Hound of Heaven, right? So He just kept putting it on my heart, a subtle invitation, never forced. And it just was something that just kept growing and growing and growing until I was able to take a few steps of discernment and say, yeah, I think this is what God is calling me to do. Gosh, what I just love about the priesthood is you're living life. It's at the heart of life. Every Mass that I celebrate, I guarantee after Mass, people come out and they say afterwards, Father Joe, can you baptize our baby? We're going to have a baby soon. It's so joyful. So you're there at the Great Joys. We're getting married. Come be the priest for our marriage. They also come out and they say, Father Joe, my husband just got put in jail. Can you go visit him? Father Joe, my daughter is contemplating suicide. Can you deal with her? So the life of the priest is a deep life. We don't live on the surface. It's not about, we know it's not about money. It's not about pleasure. It's not about power. The life of the priest is just about living the sacrificial life, bringing Christ, the only one that we really need, to the people. And it's just a life worth living. It's a beautiful way to spend a life.